Remember when Matt found out everything was fake?
Someone in this room is not who they say they are.
Let's go back.
Tamagotchi,
Of Y2K.
Welcome back to another video on the Joe Schmo Show, and surprisingly, the final video. I had planned on doing the finale as one separate video, but there really wasn't enough for a final episode to make an entire video about it. That's right, I'm concluding the first and maybe last series on my channel. Who knows? Now, if this is your first Joe Schmo Show video, I recommend going back and getting caught up, because this is the grand finale. Wait, where's the woman to tell me she didn't have time for that? Not this time? Well, okay. Then all you need to know is—
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Damn it! As I was saying, all you need to know is that the Joe Schmo Show is a reality series from 2003 that aired on Spike TV. The concept is a group of people living in a mansion competing for $100,000. The catch is everyone is an actor playing up the stereotypical reality show archetype, except this guy, Matt, who thinks it's all real. Without further ado, here's the conclusion to the first season of the Joe Schmo Show. Just like every episode, this one begins with the cast meeting with the director in a trailer. Hutch is there for some reason, despite being kicked off in the previous episode. During lunch, Ralph shows up. Showing up during meals seems to be his thing. He's kinda like if Beetlejuice was Gordon Ramsay. Ralph has some important information about the day ahead of them.
It's Double Trouble Day.
Oh, not that double trouble. Ralph explains that 2 people will be getting immunity, but 2 people will also be sent packing. He also has a legal letter that he's been asked to read from the producers. Because Matt went to law school, they needed to make sure that everything said in the letter was legally accurate. To skip over all the legal mumbo-jumbo for us, Hutch is back, and he's pretty happy about it.
Established in the house and in the competition.
As Matt explains to the other house guests about the legality of the letter, Hutch picks right back up where he left off and throws food at Kip's face.
Throw your food at my face.
I'm sorry. I meant to.
And you hit my face with your food.
Now it's time to get all Fear Factor on the house guests, because the first competition is a luxury one that involves some not so savory food. Wait though, don't turn this off if you have a weak stomach, because I have good news for you. All the food the house guests have to eat are completely fake. It is set up this way for something else that you will see soon enough. Ralph informs the house guests that if everyone can eat at least one piece of the meal they're served, everyone will receive a 42-inch flat screen TV. The first dish is for Brian, and it's an armadillo tail. Again, it isn't really. Matt quickly takes on the role of support for everyone, talking to them nice and calmly and explaining the best way to get the food down. The other fake items they eat are Molly, who has whale blubber, Kip with sheep eyeballs, Hutch with wombat stomach, and Ashley with monkey testicles. This time, instead of Matt, Hutch has some words of advice for Ashley.
You've sucked on them before, now all you have to do is eat them.
Now here comes the twist, because Matt's dish is a bit different from the rest of the house guests, because it isn't quite a food item.
Enjoy this fetching plate of canine feces.
No.
That's right, Matt has to eat dog shit. Well, at least he thinks it is. They did this because the producers knew no one in their right mind would attempt to eat dog shit. One of the producers comes out after Matt refuses to eat it. Ralph suggests maybe they should speak to the network executive and invites Matt along. The two head upstairs to speak to the fake Spike TV executive. He doesn't really like Ralph and he lets it be known.
Yeah, I appreciate your suggestions from a Ryan Seacrest wannabe, but
after Matt expresses that his dish isn't fair compared to the other house guests, the network executive threatens to hold Matt in violation of his contract, but Matt fights back.
If you want to hold me in violation of my contract, please feel free to do so.
The executive says that he needs something to bring in the ratings, and this is where things get weird. The executive suggests something that definitely happens all the time in Hollywood.
why don't you get the women to go topless? We'll just get a quick shot.
Everyone behind the scenes expected Matt to say no and stand up for Molly and Ashley here, but he agrees with the executive and says he'll ask them. I've been all on board for nice guy Matt up until this point. This is really fucked up for him to go along with. Especially when the whole point of this was to get Matt to stand up for the 2 girls.
I need you to go down there and convince them to kiss, all right? If they won't do topless, then see if they'll kiss. That's what's going to sell this thing, okay?
Anyway, Matt returns to the table and says that they have 2 choices. Either the girls go topless or they kiss, and they all win televisions. When they're not sure about it, Matt continues to pressure them into doing it.
Welcome to television.
No, Matt, just stop talking. Ralph comes in and says the network wants an answer. Ashley and Molly decide to kiss and the whole thing is really uncomfortable. Also, doesn't Matt find this a bit suspicious? If this were a real reality show, they're going to use footage of everyone eating disgusting food, and then when it's Matt's turn, Molly and Ashley kiss and they win televisions? How's that supposed to be explained? I don't know, this whole section was a bit cringy, so let's move on to the next competition for immunity. In this competition, everyone's partnered up, and whichever team wins, both of them are immune from elimination. The models are back, but this time it'll be a wet t-shirt contest of sorts. Each person takes a turn cannonballing into the pool in an attempt to splash the models' white shirts. On their body reads a word. One will refer to the king of blank, while the other refers to the queen of blank. Once they see the word, you shout out the celebrity it refers to. Matt and Hutch are teamed up, and the plan is for them to win immunity. They will go first, and the rest of them will just take longer than they take. Unfortunately, Matt isn't quite in shape and continuously doesn't jump far enough to splash the model. It takes a long time for him to finally reveal the king of media, and Matt shouts out Howard Stern. Next is Hutch, and he does it really quickly to reveal the queen of pop and shouts Britney Spears.
It's Britney, bitch.
Molly's up next and gives me the best thumbnail bait I think I've ever received. As Molly pretends to struggle in order to pad her time, Hutch, always the scientist, offers some advice.
Use your boobs to splash.
Molly reveals the words late night and she shouts Johnny Carson. Kip, on the other hand, has a well-established fear of swimming. If you forgot, Hutch has threatened to throw him into the deep end of the pool on multiple occasions, and now he has to jump in voluntarily. It's funny to watch Kip splash around in his little life jacket knowing he isn't actually afraid of the deep end of the pool. However, the model didn't seem to get the memo about what show she was on because she says this.
Okay, I get it.
The entire cast collectively in their heads shout, "Shut the fuck up." Then when Kip starts to struggle and uses the model's tube for help, she starts messing with him and swaying it around, and Matt's not a happy camper about it.
She can go fucking
Give him
fuck
a hand,
herself.
Hutch. She's got it.
She's not even good looking, so fuck her.
Ooh, Matt's spicy today. Ashley and Brian are next, and they take enough time with the king of pop Michael Jackson and the queen of talk Oprah to give Matt and Hutch the win. Matt winning with the last dancer being Oprah seems appropriate.
Oprah is one of the most powerful women in TV history.
At the eviction ceremony, Matt and Hutch are wearing the same robe, looking like they're straight out of the film Stuck on You. Hutch's plate was glued back together, and Ralph asks Ashley a question, and she decides to make things awkward again.
Ashley, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good a kisser is Molly?
I don't know, Ralph. Why don't you tell us?
Everyone votes, and once again Matt votes for Ashley. Unfortunately for him though, it is Kip and Molly who get the boot. I guess this means Hutch won't be tossing Kip in the pool after all. On Molly's way out, her and Ralph share a totally normal goodbye.
Just take this one with you.
After the eviction, they all discuss the weird kiss Molly and Ralph shared, and then the episode comes to a close.
Established in the house and in the competition.
Episode 7 is the fake finale, as in Matt thinks it's the finale where the winner is declared. However, the real finale is the episode 8 when they reveal everything to Matt. The final 4 are sitting eating lunch when Ralph walks in. He announces that after lunch there will be a sudden death eviction ceremony, and that the game will begin progressing much quicker than usual from here on out. After Ashley is called away for an interview, Matt begins scheming with Brian and Hutch to evict Ashley.
She doesn't deserve that money, dude. She has a BMW.
Then Brian's called away and Hutch tries to convince Matt to vote out Brian while enjoying his yogurt.
At the end of this?
Done.
Right.
And when Ashley has her turn alone with Matt, she suggests the same. The final eviction ceremony begins with the final 4 waiting for Ralph to enter. When he does, he's rocking the immunity robe. Silly Ralph, you can't be voted out anyway. This time they don't actually show who Matt voted for. When Ralph returns, the votes are Ashley, Matt, Ashley, and Ashley. For the first time this season, Matt's plan to get Ashley out has come to fruition. Ashley decides to dial the bitch meter up to 11 after being evicted.
Obviously, I'm the only one that has any balls here.
She tells Matt his strategy sucks, calls Brian a clown, and tells Hutch she can't wait for the day when she watches him carry her bags to her Beamer.
I can't wait to watch your sundress walk out this front door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She also asks Ralph to keep her plate, and he's like, nope, and eats her plate into the fireplace. After the eviction ceremony, Matt, Hutch, and Brian walk with their arms over each other on their way to their final dinner together. They're served their meals on their collector's plates, and once again mid-chew, Ralph appears like a phantom of the okra. He proposes a toast, and after, Matt confesses he doesn't even know what's real anymore, and confides in Hutch and Brian about something.
I don't know what's real and what's not anymore.
What do you mean?
I was asking him today, I'm like, was that guy up in the room really a network guy? Like, I thought he was like an actor or something.
They play this up as a tense moment, but Matt was just joking around. He didn't realize he was tapping into the concept of the show. The 3 guys walk out for the final ceremony. Ralph walks in looking like a bad James Bond impersonator. The former house guests walk in wearing all black, except Kip because he does what he wants. Each one of them gets to ask one question for the final 3 to answer. Gina is first, and honestly we're gonna skip right over it. It's about strategy and blah blah blah. I'm just gonna show the highlights of this section. Molly asks if they would donate any money they want to charity, and Hutch says yes.
To the Hutch Needs a Sports Car Fund.
Ashley asks why someone like her should vote for someone like them, and once again Hutch has the best answer.
Because you don't deserve it, and I do.
The jury leaves to vote and returns with their vote on a piece of paper to reveal. Just so you know that from here on out the episode turns into episode 8, so we're now on the final episode. The votes are revealed. Ashley voted for Hutch, Kip voted for Matt, Molly voted for Brian, Gina voted for Hutch, Earl voted for Matt, and the final deciding vote is Dr. Pat, who voted for...
And also who gave me 3 consecutive orgasms. I'd like to vote for the Hutch.
Hutch, you're the winner.
But hold up, Ralph is getting word from the producers in his ear, and once again someone has broken the rules. The fake network executive comes in and whispers something into Ralph's ear. Ralph says that someone here is not who they say they are, and asks if anyone has anything they would like to say, and Hutch speaks up.
My name's not the Hutch. My name is David Hornsby. And I'm an actor. I live in Los Angeles.
Hutch then points to Kip and says, what about him? And then Kip breaks the gay act and admits he's an actor too. Kip says, raise your hand if you're an actor as well, and everyone raises their hand, including Molly's fake boyfriend who shows up. Weirdest finale cameo ever, but okay.
What? Matt?
What is going on?
Ralph calls Matt over and explains the whole show to Matt, while Matt hugs a balloon. Then Ralph reveals that all the prizes in the show, including the trip Matt gave to Dr. Pat, are now his, and he will also receive the grand prize of $100,000. Oh look, it's signed by Spike! Didn't realize he was a real person. Matt starts talking about how much the money means to him, and how much he can't wait to go home, and his thoughts on when Hutch won the whole game.
Couldn't fucking believe the Hutch won, man.
Then Matt gets to meet everyone for the first time all over again. Earl tells Matt that everything he told him about his life was true. Matt is kinda bummed that Kip isn't actually gay, and he shoots one more shot at Molly.
We're really not romantically encumbered.
So there's a chance for us?
They show a compilation of cast interviews to Matt about how great of a guy he is, and he cries up a storm. Then Ralph takes him into the back to meet the crew behind the show, and finally he walks out the front door for the first time since he entered. The final episode then turns into a bit of an aftermath/reunion type special. Again, I'll just skim over some of the highlights of that before we put a lid on the series. Matt sits down for an interview with Ralph. Ralph asks him what he's planning to do with the money, and he says he's going to invest it, use it on his family, and again, further proving he's the whitest guy of the early 2000s, he says this.
And I'm gonna see Fish a little bit.
Fish the band. You gonna follow them around?
A little bit.
They then show footage of them showing up to Matt's house to tell him he was cast on the show, and we meet his parents. We see the cast auditioning process and how they put the show together, including table reads and rehearsals. Ralph asks him how he feels being referred to as Joe Schmo.
Not a big fan of the name. You know,
They also show him all the slip-ups the cast made, like where Molly was from and what Earl's underwear was. Matt says he was never on the brink of finding out the show was fake, like everyone seems to think he was. He was just there to play a game and didn't think anything of it. Finally, it ends with Ralph asking who in the house he would want to get together with, and his answer is quite surprising because he says Dr. Pat. But after Hutch hooked up with her, he was left with just Kip.
Thanks for watching. You're dead to us. Please leave.
We did it! We made it through the entire first season of the Joe Schmo Show. A reality series I watched as a kid and I never thought I would rewatch. Which I wouldn't have if it wasn't for all of you, and I'm really glad I did. For those of you who didn't like this series of videos and for some reason are hate watching it with me, we'll be back to our regular scheduled program next video. If you liked this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And also, we did it! I gotta thank everyone who subscribes because we reached 1,000 subscribers. Again, I wasn't even sure if I would get 1,000 views on any of my videos, so this is amazing. Thank you so much. And remember, if you like this video, may you find out you're living in a reality series and are given a large check at the end. Bye everyone.
You need to relax, cowboy hat dude.